Hi everyone, welcome back to She's Crafty Paperworks. If you're new here, I'm Jen, and today we are working on our third installment of Vlogmas. And today's focus is going to be on a graduation card. And with this card, I want to use the Concord and Ninth Primrose Garden set, but I'm converting it from an A2 size to a 5x7. And I've done all the die cuts, but what I want to do now is do some ink blending before we get to assembly. So what I'll do is switch us over to the overhead camera and we can kind of get started right there and then put the card together. So I think a pretty quick video today. We'll see how this works out though. All right. Okay, so I'm using Concord and Ninth paper with the exception of the silver that is from Tonic. And the colors I chose for the base of the card is Harbor, but on the inside I'm going to put a white panel, and that's what I'll stamp the sentiment inside with, and then I'll do my writing on that white panel. These colors, this is Oceanside, Sea Glass, Creamsicle, Blueberry, Carnation, and Sweet Pea. So like I said, I want to do a little bit of ink blending just to zhuzh it up a little bit. And I'm going to do ink blending with the same color for the ocean side. I do have Aqua Sky, but I think what I'm going to do for this one is bring Oceanside over onto that. So let's go ahead and start there. I'm just building up. These are new brushes. They're actually not new. I put them in a bag and I completely forgot to use them because for me, I have severe ADHD and out of sight, out of mind. And so I have created a system. I put a hook over on the side of my I have a right next to my left, I have a very large cart, and I have put that on the side so that I can actually see it. It's looking very subtle. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We may have to either go darker or try it like a second coat, kind of build it up. I'm gonna come over here and add a little bit more. Let's try building it up a little bit and then we'll see. Because Concord and Ninth, the dyeing process that they use, it tends to, as it dries, it starts to smooth out a lot more than it typically looks. So I don't want to make any major decisions before I let it all dry back, and then we'll see how it looks. But it looks a little bit more intense in person than it is showing on my computer screen. So I don't know how much the camera is picking up with it. But I'm trying to leave essentially the tips over here to be a little bit lighter and a little bit darker at the base. It's definitely helping give it a little bit more dimension. So if I go a little bit closer, you can see how it's looking a little blotchy right there, but this will start to smooth out as it dries back. these came, I specifically purchased these from Amazon because they came with this tube, because I have nowhere, nowhere to put my small brushes this size without them getting right next to each other. And I try to avoid that because if I should, like right here, you can see if they lean right up against each other, they will start to take on the other color. So I like that these are kind of individually sealed. Are they the best brushes? Not necessarily. But are they that ado brushes? Absolutely. All right, I'm going to focus on the center. And this is the same thing. This is carnation onto carnation. This is the inside, so I want to do this a little bit darker. And then I'll just do a little bit of shading on the outside piece. Let's go down a little bit. And I'm actually going to use an oxide for this one because I'm looking at the pinks that I have from Concord and Ninth, and the darkest ones I have are a little too bright. Dragon fruit I think will be a little bit too bright. But let's see how picked raspberry does. I did not want to use this though, only because I have special oxide brushes. I am going to go ahead and use this now, but then I'm going to completely clean this and wash this. Picked raspberry is the same color as sweet pea, just in case you needed to know that. So I'll put that aside. I'm going to get another one out, and I'm going to go ahead and use dragon fruit. I was thinking it was going to be too pink for this, but I need something a little bit darker. All right, so we have that. Let's see if creamsicle, if I should use creamsicle or spice cider. I think I'm going to just jump right into spice cider for this. For these, I'm just kind of putting it on some and not worrying about how exact I am. All right, I'm going to use spun sugar. I'm just going to grab a water pen, and once I get that saturated enough, I just use the acrylic block as kind of my base, and I just splatter away. Very simple, and it leaves, because it's an oxide, it leaves a pretty interesting effect on it. And I liked the spun sugar versus the white. I think it just makes it a little bit more subtle, but enough that you can see the effect that the splattering gives. Now, my goal here is to do kind of an inspiration off of the roadmap that you get with this die. Even though I'm not using the roadmap, I'm trying to replicate it at least a little bit. And to accomplish the effect, I'm going to lay my flowers down, or my leaves down first, and then I'll add all of the flowers till I get to that main flower, which I'm going to prop up with a little bit of foam. All right, here is the final card. Before I start to fill it out, I chose a pink envelope. I put a panel on both sides. The reason I opted for a panel on this side as well is because there's just a little bit of buckling from the glue, and I wanted to hide that. And I did go ahead and put on some beads, the fashion silver from Spellbinders, and I put those on each of the little creamsicle flowers. And I also added a little bit of bling here in some AB crystals from Simon Says Stamp. And to take it a little bit further, I brought in some shimmer, and it wasn't originally my goal to add shimmer to it, but I was doing shimmer for this card that I'm giving to a coworker tomorrow. And since I was going to do that one, I went ahead and did this one as well. So you can't necessarily see it that well unless I shine a light on it. I learned this trick from Amy R, but you can see when I put the light on it, there's a little bit of sparkle there. It's not going to rub off on your hands or anything. It's very subtle, but enough to give it just a little bit of an extra effect. I'm a little disappointed that I inverted the leaf here. I didn't catch that until much later, and it's not bad enough that I feel compelled that I want to fix it, because if I go into that territory with everything that's glued down to it, um, I risk just messing it up and having to start over, and I don't want to get to that. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm just going to trust my instincts that she's going to like the card. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I will see you very soon, probably tomorrow. I am making 7 thank you cards. So I will kind of show you my process for doing a kind of quick turnaround when using die cuts to make a mass production of cards. All right, I'll see you then. Until then, happy holidays.